Azeroth, a history, is recorded in Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation.
Welcome to Azeroth, a history, a look into the history of Azeroth and how it pertains to World of Warcraft today. I'm your co-host, Bam Bam Anderson.
And I'm your co-host, Winona Cassavant, a.k.a. Senppai, with 2 P's, because my name was taken. I was very sad about that. So we decided to do... Okay, I decided to do this, and then wrote my poor friend in here.
Hi.
To talk about World of Warcraft, because I like knowing things. And I especially like knowing all of the history of WoW, because it's a fascinating story to me. And I thought it was funny to talk to somebody who doesn't know anything about it.
Not even a little bit.
Nope, just what I tell her. It's so good.
I could be being fed pure lies. This could be all make-believe, and I wouldn't even know.
I promise you you're not. At least not knowingly. But what better place to start than Azeroth and the Old Gods?
Old gods are always best gods. Why'd we upgrade?
What are you thinking of when you think of Old Gods?
Greek?
Okay, no. This is more like H.P. Lovecraftian sort of stuff.
See, but I think there's beauty in the madness, so I'm still on board.
I'm not disagreeing. My guild is Notice Me, and we have a lot of tentacles.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so bad. So in terms of the word Azeroth itself, it actually refers to a few different things. The Eastern Kingdoms. Wow, I have typos in here.
Fired.
I was typing it on my other tablet that the keyboard doesn't really work very well all the time. So I'm seeing it and I'm like,
I'm a fancy bitch and I have a keyboard attached to my case for my tablet.
That's what mine is. It's the Surface.
Really?
Yeah. My keyboard's not very happy with me. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Eastern Kingdoms was renamed from Azeroth. The planet is actually called Azeroth, and it's the Titan soul that lives inside the world, kind of like Gaia. At least my understanding of what Gaia is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind Gaia.
Yeah. And then long ago, I don't know exactly when, many millennia ago, it was invaded by the Old Gods. So they were created by the Void Lords, who we don't really know a lot about yet.
Does anybody know anything about the Void?
You just got really meta on me. Hello, Abed. So there's 4 of them that were kind of sent to Azeroth: Yasharaj, Cthulhu, Yogg-Saron, and N'Zoth. And I researched how to say Yasharaj because look how that's spelt.
You sure?
Yeah, it's a little stupid, but that's how it's pronounced. I promise.
I believe you.
Yeah, and what their goal is they want to corrupt a Titan soul and essentially turn it into a Dark Titan to devour all of creation. That's yeah.
Make Gaia a little angsty.
I don't know if angsty is the right word. I think murderous might be better. Yeah, and so when they were actually kind of in power on Azeroth, they ruled over the Black Empire and enslaved the elemental lords Al'Akir, Ragnaros, Neptulon, and Therazane. Some of them did fight back a little bit. Stop reading the notes.
I just want to look at the names.
Oh, okay.
You're saying weird things to me.
I know. I should give you a lexicon at the beginning of every episode, I think, of all of the names I'm gonna say.
Oh gosh, I know. As soon as you're saying them, I'm like, oh, how important is it that I remember that these names have these meanings?
Not yet.
Okay.
These names will come up in the future, though.
Okay.
Especially the Old Gods will come up. Yeah.
Yerksharg. I fucking butchered that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's good.
I apologize if this is supposed to be PG.
I mean, I can always cut it. It's fine. I'm going to listen to that after. I'm just going to be like, fuck, It's too good.
Let's just bleep it out. It'll be perfect.
I might bleep it. I haven't decided. I did say that we are doing adult when I set up the Patreon, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I don't know how it's going to go. I swear like a fucking trucker. I'm going to try, though. I'm gonna try my darndest.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so while the Black Empire is going on, the Pantheon came across Azeroth, and they were like, "Oh, there's a Titan Soul here. Let's do this." And it's actually the most powerful one that they had come across so far.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, they've created the Titan Forged, who imprison the Elemental Lords and in the Elemental Plane, and then they kind of turn to get rid of the old gods on the planet. So they start with Yasharaj. And he's known as the Beast with 7 heads, or the 7-headed one. So they kind of succeeded in killing him. But in doing so, they actually opened a wound in the surface of Azeroth, which actually became the Well of Eternity. That is a name that you will need to know later.
Well of Eternity.
The Well of Eternity.
Okay.
You won't need to know it today,
Mm-hmm.
but you will need to know it later.
Okay.
So that happened as it died, and then his last breath out of each head, because there's 7 of them, it gave birth to the 7 prime Sha. So there's anger, hatred, violence, fear, doubt, despair, and pride. Those aren't important today, but they will be later.
The WoW version of the 7 deadly sins.
Pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah, but they're like actually like physical manifestations and physical creatures that we actually had to deal with.
Yeah. It's pretty Greek.
8 years ago. Oh God, I feel old. So then when they did that and they were like, oh shit, we just like we hurt the planet, we can't kill the rest of them. So they instead imprisoned them. So we've got Cthulhu was imprisoned underneath where Ankh-Raj is. Yogg-Saron was in Ulduar in Northrend, and N'Zoth was between the Well and Uldaman. And the heart of Yasharaj, which was still kind of beaten a little bit, was sealed beneath what is now the Veil of Eternal Blossoms in Pandaria. I can't talk.
It sounded like you said pot blossoms, and that's a well I'd be down to be underneath, if you know what I mean.
Okay, that one I'm cutting.
What? It's legal here.
I didn't say it's not legal. I'm just like, oh, it's good. I like it though. But yeah, Veil of Eternal Blossoms, not pot blossoms. I just can't talk. So with the old gods trapped and the elementals banished, the world settled into peaceful harmony. So they still have the Titan Forged and they still have the Keepers, who are basically charged with just keeping kind of order on the planet and keeping the planet safe. And also dealing with the rest of all of the corruption that was still left over of the old gods, because that's still there. And then they shaped the world into one large continent with the Well of Eternity in the middle. A little later on, they charged the Dragonflights with watching over Kalimdor, which is the name of all of the landmass, and empowered the aspects, one of each Dragonflight. So there's red, blue, bronze, green, and black. They also gifted the Pillars of Creation, which they're not too important in today's episode, but later.
Okay.
And then they also kind of did some experiments to try and see if they could actually get rid of the corruption on the planet. And in so, they created Gahun in Uldir. Yeah, this is actually pretty important today. So they sealed Gahun away in Uldir with 3 seals, one in Nazwatha, Atulaman, and the Great Seal of Dazar'alor. Nazwatha got damaged during the Cataclysm that Deathwing... Deathwing went on this rampage all over the world and kind of just, he fucked up some shit. So that actually damaged one of the seals there, and then Mithrax the Unraveler actually destroyed the one in Atulaman a very long time ago as well. So now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with now?
I was wondering what that has to do with now. How did you know?
Because that's what we're here for. That's what I convinced you to do. So in the newest expansion, we're given a necklace called the Heart of Azeroth, and we're using that to actually fight for the planet and heal the planet. And we're also empowering ourselves and our weapons and our armor Some people are really mad about it.
Magic necklace.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
I think the armor kind of is too, but a lot of people are mad about the armor. I mean, it's neat. It's a neat little piece of flavor. It has its problems, yeah, but it's still pretty cool. So the Well of Eternity, it's not actually there anymore. I mean, it's there, but it's not. It became the Maelstrom.
Okay.
In the middle of the ocean, and there's a whole big thing with that we'll go into at a later episode. Because that is a long story.
Stay tuned for the Maelstrom episode, guys. It's going to be a good one.
I don't think that'll be what it's called. Yasharaj also influenced Pandaria as well, kind of corrupting the Mogu that were there, who are Titan Forged, which I did not realize before researching this. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Cute little tidbit.
I'm a nerd. So the other three manipulated events throughout history as well, which we'll kind of touch on when we get to each event, just because there's so many. But this also includes making the Black Dragon aspect Neltharion crazy and turning him into Deathwing.
Crazy Black Dragon? That's pretty cool. Bad crazy?
Bad crazy.
Still pretty cool.
Bad crazy, because he goes, like, really insane and, like, tries to kind of kill everybody.
People are the worst, bro. I get it.
In this case, can we say dragons are the worst?
Yeah. No.
He's the worst.
I can't say dragons are the worst. That's against my religion.
Well, and then there's also the other dragonflights that they're all super cool. Except for the one.
Alright, fine. He's the worst.
He's the worst. Cthulhu's presence in Ankh-Kiraj also warped the Akir, who lived in the region. They became the Kiraji race. And then he sent them out to try and conquer Kalimdor, but was stopped before they could reach full power. So yay. We did that in vanilla. I didn't do that.
Woo!
I did not play yet, but...
Vanilla! Always the most fun. Not true.
Yogg-Saron also warped the Akir that lived in Northrend, and they became the Nerubians, which were the bane of my existence during Wrath of the Lich King. You remember how I was terrified of spiders?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's why?
Yeah. No, they did not help, but that's not why. But they were the bane of my existence.
That's fair. Spiders are definitely got some legs and some eyes. Too many.
So terrifying. It was so bad. And then the World Tree's roots actually pierced his prison, and it granted him access to the Emerald Dream. And through that, he corrupted it.
It's going to be really hard not to make weed jokes if you say stuff like Emerald Green or whatever that was.
Emerald Dream.
Emerald Dream. Like, tell me that's not like a fucking brand name.
Do you think...
I'm huffing right now.
No. Are you?
No.
Okay. No. Do you think someone at Blizzard... I bet you almost anything someone at Blizzard did that. Like, someone who had, like, made all of this lore was probably like, it's a good name.
Yeah.
Like, after it hit.
It's a good name.
Yeah. But yeah, he also... So through the Emerald Dream, he actually created the Emerald Nightmare. Yeah. The Emerald Nightmare doesn't sound as good. So it sounds a lot scarier.
Sounds a little more realistic. Like, if you do too much Emerald Dream, perhaps you will enter an Emerald Nightmare. Don't green out, bros. Know your limits.
Well, I mean, there are times where it's almost better to. He also corrupted the keepers of Ulduar, who were actually meant to keep him imprisoned. We end up freeing the keepers who are in Ulduar, who are there as, like, his jailers, and we had to murder him. So we dealt with that.
Take that, bitch.
Yeah. Yogg-Saron. We also use his blood also congeals into this, like, metal that's, like, magical. And it also sends, like, living into craziness.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. That was good fun.
I was already thinking about how metal it was before you said the blood turns into metal, so...
Yeah. So it's actually why the Lich King doesn't have living creatures of his, like, actually digging the metal and actually mining it. It's always just undead creatures. And then Gahun isn't technically an old god, but he's like made from the blood of old gods, I think from Yasharaj. And he's able to worship some of the trolls that live in the region, and they worship him as a blood god.
I get that he's probably a bad guy, but that sounds super cool.
He's also dead now.
That was made from the blood of my ancestors.
The only thing is, though, because he's not actually an old god created by the Void, he doesn't care what they want to do. He just wants to leave a decrepit husk of a planet.
So focused.
Yep. And, like, so one-track mind. And, yeah, so after the third seal is destroyed by Mithrax, we actually invade Uldir. Mithrax is the boss that we kill before him, and then we kill him.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. I'm a curve player because of that boss. Which I know you don't know what that means.
I do not know what that means.
It means that I got heroic down before the next tier got, released. So, that was last tier? Yeah. And then now we're in the next tier.
Mm-hmm.
But before this tier actually came out or anything, we got heroic level down.
Ooh.
But not mythic. Not mythic. We'll get there. We'll get there one day. I hope. But yeah.
'Cause you're a hero.
I'm a curve. It's such a weird thing for me to be a curve player because I've never been that player before, and now I am. I'm like, that's so weird. It's
Achievement unlocked.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. There's achievements since Wrath. Yeah. So I've pretty much had achievements most of my WoW playing career.
Honor roll. Dean's List over here.
Wait, War Chief's List?
Yeah. There's got to be a parallel.
I'm trying to think who would be best, because, I'm an Alliance player right now that I'm not happy about, but, I belong in the Horde. And then there's also N'Zoth, who we haven't actually really dealt with in-game yet. So we've dealt with Cthulhu, we've dealt with Yogg-Saron, we haven't dealt with N'Zoth. So this is where I would normally go into, some speculation mode, but I've decided not to do that for this particular episode, just because it's our first one.
That's fair. Leave our crazy conspiracy theories for later episodes.
Well, and, some of it even isn't just conspiracy theories. There's a lot of stuff from the public test realm that, I love looking up, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to know what's going to happen. Oh my god, that's so crazy. I love it. But I know there's also people out there who are like, I don't want to know anything until I get to experience it myself in game.
No spoilers.
Yeah, so everyone's a little bit different. I love looking up spoilers, but I'm going to do some respectfulness, and I'm going to leave it for this episode. And then in future episodes, I'll be like, hey, look, spoiler. Skip to the next episode.
I vote we have some kind of a siren. Wah, wah, wah. Spoiler alert.
Can I just sample that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so N'Zoth is still around. He's got a presence in the game right now, sort of.
Ooh, long-lasting.
Yeah. But we haven't actually met him yet.
That's so mysterious.
Very mysterious. And then last expansion in Legion, Shadow Priest got a dagger called Xalatath that's also an old god that's just trapped in an object. And she says that he writhes in its prison, slowly breaking free. That's actually a quote. Yeah, that'll be interesting. He
kind of like a caterpillar. He's trapped in his cocoon.
God, I hope not.
He's just writhing.
He's really freaky.
Until he busts free. And shows the world how epic he is now. All transformed.
He's really freaky.
You don't know that, so a lot of caterpillars look pretty fucky, and then they come out looking gorge. You don't know.
I don't think he's gonna come out looking gorge. Full disclosure.
Just wait, he's gonna have false eyelashes on, a mile long, and he'll just blow people away when he blinks. It'll be beautiful.
Remind me to show you a video after this.
No, it's more fun if I imagine on my own.
I do want to show you something, though, because it's really awesome. And it makes me, super excited for this expansion, which is the Warbringers Ashara video, if anyone else wants to look it up, but my friend has not seen it yet, which is fine. So N'Zoth was also the driving force behind Deathwing and his actions during Cataclysm, and he also created the Naga from Ashara and her highborn followers 10,000 years ago during their I guess, immediately following the sundering of the Well of Eternity. We also know that Xavius from the Emerald Nightmare in Legion follows him, so he's a follower. He still has followers in the Twilight's Hammer, Alakir, and Ragnaros is still a follower too, because Ragnaros is a dick. It also seems like he has a hold on the Tide Sages of Stormsong Valley, because they also seem to serve Ashara. That's from what I'm getting in-game right now, without looking at the PTR stuff, because there's stuff that I'm very excited about.
Exciting stuff, guys.
And then I also have a tasty little piece of trivia here. N'Zoth is played by Darren DePaul, who voices Reinhardt from Overwatch.
Ooh, Overwatch reference.
Who you don't know either.
I don't know that either. I don't know most things when it comes to game life.
That's fine.
I equals not gamer girl.
And that's why I chose you to do this, because, like, it's so funny to me to talk to someone who doesn't do this about this. So yeah, that is our episode for today.
Sweet. I feel like I learned things. There are old gods, and there's a well, and don't forget, guys, Emerald Dreams. Emerald Dreams.
This is not wet dreams. Those are the Actually, N'Zoth is probably in the ocean, so...
It is a wet dream, guys!
And the Naga are sea creatures.
Oh, it's so perfect.
Oh my god, I made the joke and I didn't even realize the implications of that joke before that.
We would like to thank the Winnipeg Public Library. We record at the Millennium Library in their beautiful Idea Mill makerspace.
Our intro and outro music is by Kevin MacLeod. You can find all of his work on his website, incompetech.com. That's INCOM as in mother, PETECH.com.
Our wonderful artwork is by our good friend Ben Hoffer. His Instagram is ScorpiusOka7, which is ScorpiusOka7, if you'd like to check out more of his work.
And he's got some amazing work.
I've seen it. It's pretty mind-blowing.
He does, like, minis, and he does art, and he does, like, Ruby fan art, and, oh, I just love it.
Shout out to Ruby fans.
Yeah! So we'll notice you next time.
Bye!